Hi everybody, Renee coming at you again from the Country Sampler Studio. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I am always thankful to be here and excited to be here and share any ideas that I might come up with you. And today we are being sponsored by LaughingMooseGifts.com. They have a great website and a lot of fun and unique items. If you want to go and check them out, I'm going to point out the things on my table that belong to them that they sent me to use, because today we are going to just take a quick look at how to set a spring table. I know that the rest of you are right there with me. We are so ready for spring. The weather is starting to warm up, making us feel a little bit more like it's coming soon. But in our homes, we're starting to try to, switch over from the winter decor and get in some pretty pinks and some greens. And I found some items on their website that I thought were just so cute. Starting with these really adorable salad plates that have a bunny and a bird's nest and a bird on them. And those are like my obviously 3 favorite things to decorate with in spring. So between the bunny and the beautiful blue eggs and the bird's nest and the pretty color along the edge, and they also have these mugs that match, and they are super cute too. And they're kind of even like clever because one side has the bunny and the other side has the bird's nest. So it's not all together, but they're so cute. So I really liked those that they sent me, as well as these pretty simple embroidered tulip napkins. They're so pretty. They're elegant, but they're simple, and that's kind of what I like, simple, but the pink is just really pretty. And then behind me, I also grabbed their spring bloom wreath on the cabinet back here. So a lot of cute things. If you just jump on their website and take a look at them, I know there'll be something on there that you think you need to add into your spring decor at home as well. So what I just was thinking about in the idea of setting a table is the fact that, at least in my case, I need to keep my table centerpiece simple. And a lot of times I want to pick it up and move it, or at least keep it short so that if you're going to have people at the table, you can do that. So keeping that in mind, what I created today that we're going to talk about is all connected on one piece. So if you do need to pick it up and move it, it's movable because it's all connected, which is nice and very inexpensive to do. But I also tried to keep the height of the flowers down so that you can talk over them and everything. I created this one more for decoration than for actually lighting the candles. But I'm going to throw this out there. I did use real candles. If I were to go ahead and burn the real candles in the centerpiece, I would make sure that I was there and that I didn't let them burn down too far to get too close to the flowers, because we don't want to make our Sunday Easter brunch too exciting and have the table set on fire. So you got to keep that in mind. If you're going to light the candles, don't walk away from them. But if you would have some taper candles that are like battery operated and have the beautiful, like kind of flickering wicks, those would be perfect to put in here too. So keep that in mind when we're discussing this. I don't need anyone telling me that I'm creating a fire hazard. Just don't let the candles burn down and start getting into your flowers, okay? So we're going to slide this table out of the way because this is the pretty one that we're going to start with, and I need to show you the process table of how I made this centerpiece. So I'm going to just roll this guy off camera very quickly and hopefully not knock anything down in the process. And I'm going to roll my work table, which is not nearly as pretty, but this is what gets the job done. You need a table that you can make a mess on, so this is what I'm doing. So let's talk a little bit about how to make a centerpiece like that. I literally started with, again, a leftover piece of 4x4 fence post. You know me well enough by now to know that I just use what I have on hand. This was literally from projects of putting up a fence last year in my yard. So I kept all of these in my little barn. So I went out and got a couple pieces. You can take these and do a world of fun crafts with them. If you've been on Pinterest at all, you'll see so many fun ideas with these. It's just crazy. And I just got online and looked to see how much they actually cost. A 4x4 post that's 8 feet long costs around $15. That's not bad. I don't know how much I have here, maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 foot, but that's not big. So there's a lot of potential projects that can come out of these pieces of wood. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but let me just show you some options here. I took my dark Walnut Stain, which I love because it makes everything just kind of look more country and a little bit more antique. And I just gave the post a coat of that first and foremost, and all the way around, except I guess I didn't do the bottom, but that's not a big deal. You can also, after you're done staining it, if you want to go with, you know, the more modern farmhouse or, you know, whatever French distressed kind of look, give it a coat of chalk paint in whatever color you want, and then just, you know, distress it. You could even put decals on this. You could stencil any kind of message on the side of it. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you may not be able to see it all if you get as carried away with flowers as I did, but you can do all kinds of things with the post itself, okay? Now, I jumped on Pinterest and saw all kinds of people making candle holders out of these, and they're so cute. They're just really, really simple and really cute. They would just drill the holes in them and then pop the candles in, and then there you go. I love the plain look with just the candles, you know, just a massive amount of candles, but I love flowers, and spring is all about flowers, so I couldn't let the opportunity go by to kind of tweak it a little bit and put my own spin on it. So, you know, using the fence post is maybe not an original idea, but that's okay. I went ahead and added my special thought to it, I guess is what I'm going to say. So, what do you need besides a fence post? Well, you're going to need a drill, and you're going to need a paddle bit that is about the same size as the width of whatever candles you choose, okay? So mine is about 3/16. Now, keep in mind, it's actually better to have the hole a little bit smaller than the candle, because you don't want to put the candle in here and have it flopping or leaning. You can fix that. You could wrap the bottom of it in, you know, newspaper or, you know, paper towel or something and stick it down in there. You can make it work. I just like mine to be a smidge smaller, so I really had to shove the end of the candle down in there, and then it didn't wiggle around too much. So mine is about 13/16, my paddle bit, okay? And that's what I used to make the holes. So let's say I want to maybe put 3 candles in here, or maybe even 2. It's completely up to you. It's very, very easy to do. It's very messy, but it's very easy. So let me just make a couple of holes in this to show you how easy it is. And you just kind of, you know, need to put your point down on your wood where you think you want a candle, and then there we go. It was that easy. Take it down an inch or so. You're going to have all kinds of little sawdust that you make, but that's okay. I don't have a problem cleaning up my messes. That's pretty normal. And then take your candle, like I said, but it's a little bit smaller. My hole's a little bit smaller, so my candle's going to be secure, all right? That's all the more difficult it is to get your candles in there. So maybe I want to put 1, maybe I want to put 2. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. I'm going to take it out, though, because I don't want to try to design around that at the moment. So I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm going to show you what I did, all right? You can do it this way, or you could just glue a piece of this foam on top. I wanted to design a little flower arrangement in foam, okay? So I made a huge mess before I got on camera, and I literally just drilled out, and I don't know if you can kind of see that, I drilled out a large spot for my foam to fit in. I took my foam and I kind of measured around it, and then I just took my drill bit and I chiseled and chiseled and chiseled and made a big mess. It was all over the place. But I made a hole so that I could stick my foam down in there, and it would be tight, and it would give me more depth to get my flower stems down in there, okay? Like I said, if you don't want to mess with that, then just cut yourself a little block and hot glue it to the top, and that's fine too. I just will have a little more depth for my stems to go into because I kind of chiseled that out. So if you want to burn the candles, okay, if that's the intent, yes, it's not just for decoration, you still probably should keep in mind that you need to keep some of the stuff away from the candles, okay? So keep it kind of low. If it's going to be on, you know, if it's going to be on the center of your table and you're actually going to be sitting across from people, you don't want this ginormous flower thing in front of your face, which is kind of nice because you just keep it low. So I literally just picked up some very, very inexpensive ferns and a little bit of maybe, I don't know if that's supposed to be eucalyptus, but some very inexpensive greenery that I liked, that I thought it looks springy, the colors are springy, but it could take me into summer, you know. If you want to find tulips, I just didn't find any nice tulips that I really liked a whole lot, so I didn't put tulips in here. But if I had found tulips, then I would have put them on here. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of green. It doesn't take much, and I'm not covering the whole thing, and I'm not attaching it. I'm just going to set it there, because once I start designing into it, then you won't see it. But I'm just going to cut some pieces off real quick. Since I'm making a smaller version of my other one, it shouldn't take a whole lot of pieces. I just use some green to kind of start a base for my flowers always. So these I'm going to keep low and down because I don't want them to be sticking up. I don't want them to get in the way of candles, etc. But the ferns are very springy. I always love ferns in any kind of design. I just love ferns. They're just so pretty and delicate, and they're just nice. So I'm going to throw a couple of ferns in here. Might have one go this way, but again, it's going to be low. It's going to be super low. So it's not in the way of a conversation, and we don't have anybody, you know, looking through the ferns. Maybe we'll stick one more in here. Keep it low. There we go. So you can make this arrangement as wide as you want to. I mean, you can really take it out there, but you just don't want to go too tall. So then maybe I'll take a few of these other pieces of green filler and stick them in, again, kind of randomly, but not very high. I don't have a lot of this one left because I used most of it on the other finished product. And I don't have to cover all of this. The nice thing about doing this really super short is that these big blooms are going to cover really well because I'm keeping it super low and I'm just packing it. So I'm keeping it simple. So you don't need a ton of silks to keep it pretty. It can be pretty, but it can be low cost and low maintenance. I wanted to try to get rid of this tag, but it's not coming off. That's okay. Okay, so we're just going to do this. So I'm just shaping this a little bit so that you can see that all this stuff, the green is going down. And then watch how simple these, look how cute these are. These are so pretty. These are like 3 buds on this. Well, 1 bud and 2 blooms on this one little stem. So, so cute. But I want these big guys to go right on top. And I can cut these stems kind of short because I'm just going to shove them, look, right there. Tight. Pack it tight. Keep it tight. Those big blooms are going to cover a lot of space for me. First and foremost, we'll just get the large space covered. And you gotta remember, it's, you know, if it's on your dining room table, people are going to see it from both sides. So you want to maybe design it from one direction and then go, you know, turn it around so you can see the other side. But check that out. It's 4 big blooms. That's all I got in there. 4 big blooms, and they covered the entire top of that. And then if I want to go back and use, here's some cute little ranunculus that are just adorable. Maybe I'll take one of these little buds, and I'll just make this little bud go down the side like that so that it's kind of draping. And I can use, you know, when you get flower stems like this, don't be afraid to use like all the leftover leaves because the green fills in. So you can go around and see, you know, do I have any empty spaces? If I have empty spaces, I don't want a ton of them. But you get the idea. It can be real simple, just like that. I probably have an empty corner that needs like another bloom, so let's put a ranunculus right there. Maybe one that doesn't have a tag on it, so it'll go in. So here, I'll just shove a ranunculus right there. There, see? Just like that. And then my candle's over here. Let's say I want to maybe put 2 candles in. I drill another hole. I would have done this beforehand. But let's say I keep 2 candles. So I have a little bit of an arrangement here that has my flowers out of the way. If this guy burns down and I'm not paying attention, he's not so close that he's going to start a fire. But maybe you make 2 of these turn one the opposite direction so you have 4 in the center and then your flowers are on the other end instead of doing a big one. So many options. You know, you can just use your creativity and go crazy. So I want to show you what the other side of this might look like. The white side, like if you go ahead and paint it, look how pretty it would be if that was white, you know, if your whole thing was white. So a simple idea, do your own take on it. Use your simple foam, your simple flowers. Give yourself a little new centerpiece with just a quick and inexpensive leftover piece of fencing in my case. But that's about all there is to it. And how fun is that? So it didn't take me very long at all to do that. You can make one yourself at home, put it on your table. And then the nice thing is, you know, for a different season, you pop out this color of candle, you pop out this whole thing because it doesn't really need to be glued in there. Pop in a different one for a fall arrangement and pop in a different one for a Christmas arrangement. So it's just such a simple and easy thing to do, and it would be inexpensive to just kind of change it up. Just like that. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you can kind of make your own little version of it. You enjoyed the time we spent together. Don't forget to jump onto laughingmoosegifts.com and take a look at some of their spring goodies that they have on there. And you might find something that you like to help decorate your own house. So until I see you again, you take care, and I'll see you when I do.